Brian, let's dig a little deeper into the front end of the sales cycle. You've spoken in the past about target account management. Do distributors do this effectively?
Well, first off, Lindsay, good question, but I will tell you a topic that I think could be probably an interview in itself, pretty involved. But I'll try to give you a Cliff Note version of this. Do distributors do this effectively? For what I've seen over the past 15 years in working with companies, I would say no. And again, I go back to my life as a distributor and managing a distribution company. I was guilty of it as well. We did not, in my mind, effectively manage target accounts. What I would typically see is, we would at the end of the year, beginning of the year, we would, tag accounts as target accounts. We would put that in an Excel sheet or just verbally talk about it. And pretty much at the end of the day, go back to what we're normally doing. No real visibility in the movement or a proactive approach to this. I just think that's not the, again, proactive way to do this. What I've done is, I guess, trying to simplify this with 4 simple questions that a company could take and try to get their arms around. I think you need to profile the accounts first and then determine where you're going to spend your time. What you're seeing on the screen is a way with 4 simple questions that you can look at from the account level. The first being current volume, and then the next being potential volume. So you'd go and rank the company with regards to their current volume of business. You can put letters with numbers representing what kind of volume that represents, and then the potential. So in this case, A, B, C, or D. And then what you want to do is then take and look at tagging those accounts with current products that they're purchasing from you, and then what are the potential products that they're purchasing from you. Once you do that, you now have a proactive way to look at this. It organizes the accounts by, let's say, CA or BB accounts. In the case of, hey, it's currently a C. Currently they're a C, but they could potentially be an A. That's a high-growth account. And then you analyze the products they're buying and what product line do you want to target and put some focus on.
So how can distributors then be more proactive?
Well, with regards to this target account discussion, what I've worked with other companies in the past is that, again, you go through this process, it becomes clear, very clear on where the growth accounts or target accounts are. And then what I'd recommend doing is putting in a place, analyzing an account. What I typically would do is recommend companies, I think this is manageable, have a salesperson maybe pick 10 accounts that are target accounts for the quarter or half a year period. They've targeted, they profiled them, and then maybe pick one product, a growth product, out of that target account, each target account, and put a plan together. And put a proactive plan together, keeping track of their strategy and activity and hurdles that they need to do to grow that and how they progress with regards to growing that and being proactive in that account.
Brian, when you have a plan, how do you ensure that salespeople actually follow up on it? How critical is sales management to this process?
Another good question and sometimes a tough one. We would review on a regular basis and adjust accordingly. Again, I feel these target accounts, these 10 target accounts with a growth product every quarter is manageable. Have the salespeople present their successes at the sales meeting. Have KPIs and scorecards on this. Again, remember, they were involved in this profiling, so they should take some ownership and accountability in this. Reference how critical is sales management to this process. Management needs to lead by example, without a doubt. The salespeople need to see that this is not just another exercise, but this has become a company culture with how the company is going to grow and manage their business going forward. Again, we've got the processes and procedures on the back end of the business. Let's put those processes on the front end. I don't think inside sales argue about procedures on how to enter orders or how to check stock and the stocking processes and all that. So let's, again, put those processes on the front end. And something I'm sure everyone has heard before in the past, inspect what you expect. Let the team know that you're serious about this. This is the way the company's going to grow. You've given them a process and procedures, and you're here to help them grow their business.
Another item that you have focused on or spoken about before is a load goal. How is this different from a sales pipeline?
Another topic that could be, in my mind, an interview in itself, but again, to compress this down, this is something we came up with about 4 years ago to help companies really focus on where they are and will they reach their sales goal. This is something you can break down by company, by salesman, territory, product. It is all based on, I guess a saying that I have is you must measure input to get desired output. What I find is a lot of companies are measuring their sales pipeline, which is great, and I think you should all measure your pipeline. But what companies are not focused on is how much they need to be loading the pipeline with every month to reach their goals. And a formula that I use is sales goal equals base business plus load input times hit rate. And what we're basically doing there is coming up with, how much do we need to load in the pipeline every month? Most companies look at this by month. Every month to reach our sales goal. I have so many companies say, well, we've got an extremely high pipeline. Well, that pipeline might be 3 months, 6 months, a year old. And the trend over the last 6 months is, you haven't been loading the pipeline enough, and you need visibility of that. So I just think it's so important to manage that load input. And again, I use that basic formula. There's more variables to that formula, but in the simple format, I think it works very well for companies to get their arms around what that load input needs